Okay. So today is August 17th, and I'm going to talk about Ketchupathon that's hosted by Krista and Amy. Um, and I will put their stuff down below. But I spent most of the first week of that sick. My family was sick, so I didn't know what I was going to get to. I read quite a bit, and the printer doesn't work at home, so I just wrote out all my prompts, and I'm just going to go through them real quick, and then I'll talk about what I read for what prompt, because otherwise it's just kind of confusing. So there's location, guest, meat, side dishes, desserts, and then you can play games for the activity prompts. So location was where you wanted your cookout to be. And the first one was a backyard, park, or a beach. And I really wanted my cookout at a beach, but I kept reading books that were set in my own state or country. So finally, I read Who Were the Grimm Brothers by Avery Reed, which is a juvenile biography, and it's part of the Who Was series. Who Was, Who Were, What Was, What Is series. And I absolutely love that series. It's just a great information of all these famous people. And the Grimm Brothers book was a 5-star. I just really liked it. And so the Grimm Brothers were from Germany, and they listened to people give stories orally about fairy tales, and they wrote them down. And then they made their own German folklore, fairy tales, whatever you want to call it, through those people that shared all these stories. And they were from Germany. They went to France at some point to meet with different authors. And I just loved it. So I got my beach setting finally. But for backyard set in your state or country, I read Apple Turnover Murder by Joanne Fluke. And this takes place in Minnesota. And Lake Eden, Minnesota. And also, this took place in Wisconsin. And so those two worked for that prompt as well. So the next is guest, and it was family, so family focused book, friends, found family, and neighbors or neighborhoods or whatever. Okay, so family focused. So Apple Turnover Murder follows Hannah Swenson, and she, like I said a little bit ago, she lives in Minnesota, and she owns a bakery, the Cookie Jar, and she is a sleuth, and she does a lot of the murder mysteries with her family. Her mother absolutely hates that she finds all these bodies in every book, and then like there's a lot of community members, so it could fit for neighborhoods, and it could fit for found family, and also family focus, so it could do all three of them. And this also, Little Monsters by Kara Thomas, was Casey is a new girl in Broken Falls? Yes, Broken Falls, Wisconsin. And she makes new friends. And then there's this party, and her friends don't invite her or text her what's going on. And after the party that night, one of the friends goes missing. And so they're trying to figure out who did it and why. And this was a YA. And it was it didn't feel like a YA. Like some of them feel YA. It really did not feel like YA. And it took me quite a while to guess who, like they're all sus. They all have things. And my head just kept reeling, and all of this story of who did it, who it was, and am I right? Because I could be wrong. So it was. It was very quick, and I was very on the edge of my seat the whole entire time because I needed to know what was going on. So anyway, that I think I kind of hit all of that for guest. So next is meat. So steak, literary fiction, burgers and dogs was a historical fiction. I didn't read either of those prompts. Shish kebabs, mystery slash thriller. So this one and this one are both mysteries. This says it's a thriller, I believe, but it feels more like a mystery. And even though it is fast, it feels more like a mystery. And then the side dishes are pasta salad, fruit salad, chips, mac and cheese, baked beans, and veggie platter. So I did think the apple turnover murder was the brightest thing I had for my TBR for those 2 weeks. Chips was who were the Grimm brothers. Baked beans, I read Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman, and I'll put the cover on in. And it just was a bunny on the cover and red lettering, so it was very simple. Veggie platter, food on the cover. I also did apple turnover murder. And for desserts, I did Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. And then for games, you could have cornhole activity, which could be like you could join sprints with Amy and Krista, or read the book of the month, and what else was there? Book of the month, buddy read. There was a whole bunch of things. So I think I actually ended up with 3 prompts. So the second activity was bocce ball, and to complete 3, you did volleyball. So I did volleyball. I did join the sprints. I did participate in the comments because I wasn't feeling the greatest, but I felt okay to read. And I did watch Amy's vlog through the whole, every day, and comment and liked her videos. And I just have a great time with those ladies. They're just so much fun. And like, you know, I'm not on there for hours of time, and I just have a great time. The conversation's great, and Amy was babysitting or dog sitting, and the dogs were just too cute. And so I did join sprints. I did read outside, and I'm counting a buddy read because Incidents Around the House was a pick for Sav's book club, and Lights Out book club, I believe. So a lot of people that I watch are reading that right now, and I just commented on somebody's picture that this book totally creeped me out, and I couldn't read it at night. So, yeah, Jules, good luck with the book. But, so, the Grimm brothers, I gave a 5-star. The Incidents Around the House, I'm not going to talk about right now because it has not, the live show hasn't gone up. But Little Monsters, I think, I did not find out who it was until the very end. And it was such a kind of a sad ending because it's like, you know, it really reminded me of like Pretty Little Liars, Mean Girls, and these girls are awful to each other, terrible. And they have their reasons for being terrible to each other. They have their reasons in getting involved in each other's lives. And it just makes me sick how people think um, with the people in their lives, and how people hurt other people. It's just so crazy, and it can get hectic, and it can get um, yeah, it can just get so much. Like this, all these girls started out with one little thing that they were after, and it just grew and grew and got crazy. So, I think I would love to have a sequel, Miss Kara Thomas, and find out what happens to these girls, and to I would just love to find out what happened. So this, I think I'm giving this 5 stars. I really liked it. Like I said before, it did not read like a YA at all. It read like an adult mystery, and it was just really great. So, um, and this one, I have loved the Joanne Fluke series, and Apple Turnover, the person that ends up dead is the old college professor that Hannah had while she was in college. And he was married, but he didn't really care he was married. And so he had a relationship with a lot of different women. And he was not a very good person. So, like, finding out who killed him and why was really, like, there could be a lot of people just because of who he was and how well known he was through the college. And so it was hard to be like, oh, that's predictable. But the only thing that really threw me off, and this is such a just a me thing, but it does say Apple Turnover. And so I thought this was it. All the books go through all these different seasons. So I thought it was just going to be a fall book. That's what I really thought it was going to be, because it had Apple Turnover on the cover. And then like apples and all that just made me think of fall. And it was not. It was the start of summer. And so I'm just like, that really threw me off that I was reading a summer book with apples on the cover. I don't know why, it just did. So, I usually give her books 4 to 5 stars, but this was a 4 star for me just because of, it could have been anybody. This is just always well written, and I always like to follow the family. And there was family dynamics that were they're just funny, and some situations are just comical because you have all these different personality types within the family, and it's just, yeah, it's hilarious. So I think that's it. I ended up reading 4 books. Was really shocked by that, because I'm like, what? But I did pretty good for a few weeks and not feeling very well. So that's it. But I'm doing Retoldathon right now, and I'll probably make a little video of what I read after that is done. So it's been a while. I just, kind of like everybody else, been busy, and haven't had a lot of time to load stuff up. So I'll load some videos when I can, and mostly I'm on Instagram doing some kind of thing with reviews or readathons. So for right now, I think now it will get a little bit more slower and I can do a lot more videos. So I have missed doing those, but I think that's all. So happy reading, and see you next time.